What is going on, fellow mini bikers, fellow small engine enthusiasts, and anyone, my subscribers? Um, Kind of just shooting the shit, talking bullshit, giving updates, stuff like that. Um, Working on Haley's bike here, making it a Lilo and Stitch theme. It's her favorite movie, cartoon. She has Lilo and Stitch driving covers and blankets and all that stuff. So she figured she'd want her bike that instead of this red. So um, got it all painted with a rattle can. Turned out all right. It's whatever. Um, Everything on this bike looks good. I had to use her motor. Blew my motor. Explains why I have this other motor on here, which is not going to be staying on here, but um, blew my motor before a Tall Pines event, which is a club that we ride at, and I needed a motor real quick. I was going to use this, but that didn't work out. So I pulled her motor off her bike and put it on my bike for the event. We were going to take both our bikes, but unfortunately, that wasn't going to happen. Um, so I took mine off, and she don't really ride the trails, which is basically the main reason to go there is to ride the trails and hang out with other enthusiasts, and she doesn't really ride the trails. She's still not that confident in it. So I figured I'd take my bike. Um, Her motor's going back on there. I got to power wash it and then put it back on and get her the same front suspension I have, and get that going for her. Once she has the front suspension, technically this bike can be all put back together. Um, she does have a slight, if you can look at that peg, it's bent that way. Um, that was due to a buddy of mine actually trying to do a wheelie with the bike and falling and breaking it. So she didn't break the peg, but he broke the brake off. And from inspecting it when I took it all apart, it's broken. So, and I missed. You can see the red I missed. But um, that's an update for that bike. We got a new bike here. It's a Baja Heat. I think it's Baja Heat or Baja Warrior Tomato. Um, it has a Ducar kart racing engine on it. This thing hauls, dude. With me on it, it goes about 48, 49 miles an hour. With the person that I'm letting, it's their bike basically. I mean, they can do whatever they want with it. They just can't sell the bike unless they're getting a better bike. Um, with him on it, it's about 43. He's a bigger guy, so about 43 miles an hour, which is for a little bike. Honestly, these mini bikes, I see people on the internet going 70, 80 miles an hour. And yeah, if you have a drag bike that's low center of gravity and has a good motor and good tires and in a safe environment, that's fine. But on the road, I see these hoodlums doing that stuff, and it's just, in my opinion, not worth it. It's not worth the time and the effort, considering, and especially for us, we just trail ride. We ain't fucking in the hood trying to, you know, do hood shit. It's just not worth it. I used to ride. I don't have the bike right now, but I used to ride like the Mega Motorvox bikes in the city and stuff when I was younger, 12, 13 years old with my buddies. We'd have two or three of those motorized scooters. We had a whole bunch of stuff, and we would ride Westridge Road up and down by Applebee's and, and by the subway and up and down that whole area. So that's his bike. It's ready to go for Tall Pines. Needs a gas tank and needs a new chain. We went for a ride and his chain exploded. I don't know why. I don't know if he hit a bump the wrong way. It happened a few times at Tall Pines. I'm not an expert. I don't know if it's because of his weight. He's a bigger fellow. No clue. Um, Another reason could be that the chain, the sprocket, and the torque converter aren't lined up right. I got this from somebody that's a decent builder, probably a better builder than I am, no more experienced than I am, and I'm assuming they did a good job. So I'm not sure why. We're just gonna get a new chain and move on. My trail bike needs a new motor because I blew mine up, giving Haley's back. This is a GX 390, big block, 13 horsepower motor. I wanted to see how it would fit, and I would need to cut the fender for it to fit. I was like, all right, that's not a big deal. But then I got on the bike to see how it feels, because this is going on not smooth trails. This is not going on flat trails. This is going on steep trails. Yes, it has a torque to back it up, but it also feels very heavy. Um, this motor would be suited for more or so for something like this or a Trailmaster, I think, which is a plan for this motor. I want to get a Trailmaster MB200 and put this motor on it. And make the bike into like a military bike. Use the starter, use all that stuff. And if there's a key on it, I don't think there's a key here. There's nothing for that starter, so I don't even know how that would start. But, excuse me. Use that for this. Find a way to use this manifold, because it's pretty sweet. If I can't, then I would just cut it here and then kind of have like a pipe come out like this. Or, like I said, I want to do a military style bike, that isn't very military, so I'd have to make it kind of maybe look up some military bikes and try that. But that's where this motor's going. This is getting a Wildcat 223, 24 millimeter carb, torque converter. Easy Carburetor just came out with a big valve kit for their Wildcats, 31 millimeter intake, 25 millimeter exhaust. At some point, I wanted to do that too. And maybe change out the flywheel, I'm not sure. I don't know. That's the reason why my other motor blew up. The other motor, I got it up to 7,000 RPM and the flywheel magnet said CS. So that motor probably is actually still fine. I just need to put a new flywheel on it, which we're going to do at some point for another project I'm going to pop in a minute here. This little bike here is Doodlebug. I haven't done much with it. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but I would like to do a John Deere build. Painted all John Deere green. I have some handlebars for it, or some forks for it somewhere. It's probably the forks that came off the motor box. I'm going to put front suspension on that and put a Chinese diesel on it and do a whole John Deere theme. And that's the idea for that bike. Man, it's cold out here. This is the Mega Moto 80 I had. I raced at Snyder's Motorsports. It's all taken apart because it's going to be getting painted. We're going to be painting this orange, JLG orange or whatever. Look up JLG equipment, look at that orange, and that's the orange this is going to be. It has a upgraded, it's going to be working on it, not done yet, but we're about there, almost there. GX 160 engine, and this will be the race bike. I'm going to the Mini Bike Association in PA to race with them, hopefully back to Snyder Motorsports, the G100, any oval races that are within the area. Any Mini Bike Association in PA doesn't do oval races, but they do a type of race which is more of like a hare scramble type deal. But yeah, really wish I had more to show you guys, but I don't. It's just kind of the update I have at the moment. The only reason I'm posting this and blabbing my gums, and I'm sure if you are listening, I appreciate you listening this far, because I haven't posted in a while and I feel like I should. Got better lights. The shop is a mess. It always is a mess. I'm not a very organized person. Never have been, but I feel like the organized people are just other successful people, and I'm kind of letting myself down here with the lack of organization. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens, and I appreciate you guys following along, and hopefully the next time I can post either this bike or one of these bikes is done. I'm probably going to post when all of them are done, or if I get any new ones. So please stay tuned for that, and I'll talk to you guys later, and have a good night.